Hi, I'm Darian Glasser,
I'm Dave Machado.
and together we created Disaster Guard. Disaster Guard is a multi-platform service to help mitigate the effects of natural disasters. In short, it helps first responders efficiently and quickly find survivors after a natural disaster, and helps survivors find each other quickly without internet connection. Let's go into how it works. So the problem. To start, there's currently no affordable solution core to emergency response. Every solution costs exorbitant amounts of money and does not directly help right after a natural disaster. The opportunity. So, the emergency response market is currently a $50 billion market and will grow to $132 billion, or estimated to grow to $132 billion by 2019. As the world population increases, as climate change increases as well on the Earth, the emergency response market is only going to continue to grow from there. As it is, other solutions only rely entirely on internet. And because of this, during many natural disasters, cell towers can go down, and internet can be difficult to get. Solutions that rely entirely on internet are useless in many natural disasters. And finally, most municipalities, they run on very tight budgets. Other competing solutions, for instance, Brave Mobile Security, that offer a solution that is similar to ours, has a very high upfront cost and maintenance fees over time. Many municipalities, counties, cities, towns, they don't have the money to implement this. It's very difficult for them to do so. And so they need a low-cost or free solution to do it for them. Disaster Guard. This is where we come in, solution. Disaster Guard is an affordable platform that helps emergency responders coordinate recovery efforts easily. It's open source, meaning there's a minimal cost to get it up and running. In fact, all a town or a company that needs to do to get it going is they just need the hardware. Once they get the hardware, they run our code and it's good to go. And it's easily accessible via mobile and web. As it is right now, 77% of America has a smartphone, which means almost everybody can access our service. In addition, because it's open source and under what's called the GNU GPL v3 license, whenever anyone takes our code and modifies it, they'll commit it back, and our product will continue to grow as more people use it. So as more people use our software, it will continue to grow, and it will continue to grow as more people use our software. It's a constant, it will constantly get better.
So we were fortunate enough to be able to develop a prototype at a hackathon that we participated in at WPI in Worcester. The three pictures we have on here are three screenshots from our Android mobile application. Our first picture is from our Live Map feature, which allows administration, probably administration from either fire or police, let's say, for municipality, to see where users will send up what we call flares, which are, as long as internet's working, coordinates that say, hey, I'm in trouble, I need some help after, let's say, an earthquake or something comes through the area. Our second screenshot is our nearby feature, which is where our niche comes into play. This nearby feature allows users to use their two phones to locate each other without any internet reliability. So if a cell phone tower goes down, the internet's not available, that's a really big pain point for these types of solutions. We don't need that at all to use that feature. Third feature is our facial recognition, which will allow administrations, let's say there are firefighters or police out on the ground, they're able to go through and run facial recognition on, let's say they come along a body, they can try to identify that person if there's no identifiable information on them at that time. This is our timeline for the next year if we're fortunate enough to get funding for this. We'd really like to start by doing a needs study with municipalities, small to large. I've personally worked for the town of Kingsborough as their IT director for 2 years, so I know the small side of things. However, I'm not sure about the lull size of things. So I'd like to get a feel for both sides of the scope. Work off of the prototype, get the needs study back, iterate on that, make some changes, bring it back out to the town, see what they think, go through that process for a few months, and then hopefully have a version 1.1 or 1.0 to release next May. As far as resources go, because we're working on an open source solution, the initial release needs to be created for the community to build upon, as Darren was mentioning. To get that cycle of building and using and building, you have to have something for the community to feed on, basically, and build on. So having funding will allow us to build that version 1.0 to release to people. We'd like to allocate about 55% of our money to a testing environment to make sure that the platform can support big and small towns. 35% to internally use software to build the tool, basically. And 10% to do marketing, research, overhead, just to make sure that there's enough wiggle room to really get this project to fruition. Any questions?
So first off, explain to me a little bit more about how this works. So cellular, I've been involved with, Japan tsunami, and there was no internet, and so we put up cell towers literally in a campground so that people could use their phones to communicate. But if you're saying this can work without cell towers, without Wi-Fi, I don't get it. So explain that a little bit for me.
So we're using some of our features do require cellular network. For example, the flare that you saw, where we're able to send up a user's find location to a map, cluster them together. This requires internet. However, our feature nearby, where we're able to, that one in the middle, we're able to connect with other devices using sonar waves. So as two devices are within, we're usually about 50 to 100 feet within each other, we're able to make a secure handshake between the two using a certain type of sound that only the two devices can hear, and as they do that, they can exchange basic information. That information gets more complex if we have internet. We're able to grab down profile pictures and email addresses, but we're able to get basic information just with audio.
So currently there are two main solutions. There's Rave Mobile, which Darren mentioned. There's also the Sahana Foundation. Rave Mobile is a private enterprise where they basically have these three features, but there's, coming from experience at Kingsborough, they were looking to deploy that incredibly high upfront costs for licensing, and then there's a subscription fee based on the population of the town. So that's the private side, and towns can't afford that. It's just too much money. So they go without. The Sahana Foundation is open source. However, their goal is more so after effects. So what they do is they work with foundations like the Red Cross to organize resources. This much water going here, we'll send a truck over here. So the sort of dealing with the after effect, not the immediate. So we're looking to kind of fill the gap between hours after something hits, whereas they come in a week or two later, however fast the Red Cross can come down.
Okay, so then people who are, let's say, buried after a earthquake or something, so all these people in this town would need to have this app on their phone to be able to find each other, and also to be able to
right. So the
signal
goal
up
would
to the
be
rescue workers.
right. So the goal would be kind of what I call to build a web of trust, where citizens, if they're walking around, they would get an alert if someone's we'll call it, it's called a beacon. Someone's trying to get help, but they don't have cell phone service, or if emergency responders are walking through, they'll get a notification. That's how that would work out.
So, I'm sorry, you mentioned that, and I don't know enough about cell phones. They communicate in the middle case, they communicate with sonar? Is that like a function that the phone has?
Yeah, so this is not developed by us, but it is developed by Google. It's well tested, and they use a particular audio frequency that allows two devices, Android or iOS, to communicate with each other without using the internet.
And you don't need special hardware, it's just standard in the phone.
Any phone running, if you want technical specs, Android Ice Cream Sandwich or higher.
Now, can you daisy chain that? So you mentioned that they need to be within 50 or 100 feet of each other. But could you daisy chain it so I would connect to you and you could connect to someone 50 feet that way, and then I could see all three of you?
Right, so what we'd like to do, I was mentioning that web of trust, is if Darren and I are citizens and there's some administrator at the town hall and we walk through and my cell phone picks up Darren who's buried under his house, I'll get the notification that I found Darren, and then that'll get forwarded to administration, who will notice, hey, that person, let's see if we can contact Dave and see where Dave is, to figure out where Darren is. So then it does get daisy chained down the road, if that is what you're.
Right, yep, that's exactly right.
I'm going to stick on this one because I'm a little confused myself.
Sure.
So if there's no internet available and you have this frequency you're trying to use, a couple things, you can't go back to the main city hall because you're not going to have internet, right?
Right.
And so that to me is a bit of a problem. Also, the sonar has to be affected by, if you're in a pile of rubble, how's it getting out? And you're really not getting, it's not like triangulation. You're saying, hey, this person is in this part of this building. You're just getting a signal saying someone's in this area, right? It's not telling you they're in this corner of the building. It's just saying you're in this building. Because there's no way to triangulate it if it's one-on-one.
That's correct.
So it's just telling you, we have a problem here.
Yes.
Somebody did. The other question I have, like the Good Samaritan law, so say you're walking by and you hear this, pick this stuff, and you say, I'm just keeping on walking because I don't want to get involved. You know, you look into this Good Samaritan law, I mean, if you do help somebody and they die or something, what's the legal consequences of that? So something, yeah, I was thinking.
No, that's a valid point. I hadn't thought of that, but very valid.
We come from a different part of life, or into this.
So you've been burned.
Yeah. Let us grow.
The idea of this really came from, I was talking about, I ran the IT department for the town of Kingsborough for 2.5 years. During my 2.5 years there, I saw just how small municipal budgets are in general. And we currently, the town currently has a system called CodeBread, which is just sort of a town version of the, what I call the superintendent who calls for the snow day, just a mass messaging system. That's also very expensive. So our hope is, one point of this is you have to have the app on your phone, right? So if we would like to incorporate a feature onto this that will send push notifications of, hey, police say don't drive down this road, there was some big accident. Try to lower the cost for towns that already have the system, which will then further entice users to download this app to get town updates on their phone instead of having to either check the town website, which who knows when that's really updated, situations like that.
So the competitors, you said it's a very big price tag, so can you tell me what the big price tag is, and then what's the revenue opportunity? I know you've got a market, $50 billion but what's the market, what's your go-to-market strategy, and how much of a piece of this do you think this is? And how does that compare to your guys that are too expensive for the town's doing?
So right now there aren't a lot of towns who can afford either of those solutions because the open source solution we talked about, the Sahana Foundation, isn't to serve this purpose. It's more of a federal level to help with Red Cross. The private solution, for example, when I was, forgive me, the numbers are going to be a little fuzzy, but I believe when I was looking, Kingsborough's population is about 12,000. There was a $25,000 licensing fee for the lifetime use, and then it was several thousand per year. And obviously this is something you hope never to use for the features, but it's something that you should have just in case these situations arise to be able to efficiently deal with this. So towns can't justify spending that amount of taxpayer money without having some trade-off for them, and it's just not there with these very internet-relying solutions that are currently available. As far as the market goes, we're going for an open source solution, which isn't geared toward making money off of this. We're really trying to provide a service to people, the goal of which is just to allow towns to take this and build on it and then give back to the platform and get into that cycle of building and using and building and using it.
So you're not really trying to start a business, you're trying to set up this web of trust in people to take what you have and then add back to it. It's
Right.
more of a good Samaritan, to use your term.
It's a good Samaritan. It's very similar, and I'm not sure how tech savvy. It's like Linux. Linux, the operating system is open source, but there are a lot of people making a lot of money from Linux because they take it and they try to better it in certain niche areas. That's sort of where we're going, where we're providing this core functionality that can then be expanded for with the GNU license to fit different town sizes better. So a town says, hey, we really need voice calls. We need a system that does voice calls. Luckily, we can use the service with the platform, use that area of the platform for our purposes and build off of that.
So look at the applicability of this to developing nations.
Not currently. Our goal is, we saw a market where everyone has one of these in their pockets. So how can we take advantage of that? Most citizens already have one of these in their pockets. How can we build off of that to provide towns an easy way to communicate with their citizens in good times and bad? Haven't really thought about it in developing countries, but the gears are spinning a little bit and I can see some baby applications to it. I think the biggest pitch would be internet connectivity for main features, where the sonar piece would be able to be used. They might not be able to have the backbone to support the rest of the platform, but that's a very good
And also, if you looked at potentially partnering with like a Google or large entity that has resources. I mean, it seems personally that it's an interesting concept to me. It's like, oh, it's kind of a lightweight, low-cost way to potentially identify, because more and more you read that, you know, so-and-so was found 4 days after some catastrophic event. Some entity that could put $50 million behind this, a group, you know, might be able to really take your idea, you know, improve upon it, expand upon it, and roll it out to really help people.
That'd be awesome.
You got reach
have-
mine.
I haven't really thought about that personally. That'd be really great if we were able to get that kind of thrust to move this forward and expand upon what you're saying. I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
I don't have much to add. We've received some feedback from corporate companies, but they haven't been like, here's $50 million, let's make this great.
Hey, have you, besides Tingsboro, have you talked to other cities or towns that, and what kind of feedback have you had from them?
My Mass Public Sector Connections. I was talking to the Lowell building inspector, who spends, many of them, they spend a lot of time in either newer homes and get to inspect them, or lesser homes that need some fixing up and see what the problems are. And he recognized that there was a application to this for homes that could either collapse, fall down, chimney, crushes someone, and use it in that sense. So it sounds like towns are really interested in biting on this, especially with the not many $sign price tag. So it sounds like they're interested in it, and I'm trying to get a meeting with one of the, not the city manager, I forget the title, one of the higher ups in Lowell, to try to show and see how we can get that large scale municipality feedback on this and see how they think that this could be applied for them.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Can I
Thank
ask
you all
one
for
more
your time.
quick question before I
Quick,
volunteer?
all right.
Why is this different than police can track you now on your phone? I mean, how is this different? So if they want to find you and your phone is on, they can find you.
They can find you if you initiate some connection to them. The idea is this would be something running in the background that that the user could reach out that way instead of having to dial, let's say 911, hit the send button. That's a lot of buttons to hit if something's gone wrong.
I want to point out
So
too
isn't
that when
Find My
the,
Phone? So isn't there an app that's Find My Phone,
So there's Find My Phone from
that?
Apple.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red tape area in that sector because Apple might know where you are, but who can we tell where you are? It gets,
Apple doesn't tell you.
it's a private company and it gets
Got it.
hazy from there.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.